We drew inspiration from livestock shelters that scatter farmland. The design doesn't detract from the actual picturesque landscape, but provides shelter for the humans to kind of occupy as opposed to just the livestock. I think the main challenge with tiny houses is trying to make the space as functional as possible, but then also trying to design something that is a kind of alternative to a caravan. So not wanting the space to feel too cramped with all of the bits and pieces that you need for daily life. So the way that we kind of overcome those challenges was to use kind of flexible spaces and to try and jam as much of the functional storage requirements into the walls, maximise the floor space, and then through flexible use of the various spaces, pull-down bed, fold-up table, was a way of ensuring that the small footprint accommodated numerous uses throughout the day and into the night. The way that I see this cabin differing from a caravan is the way that the windows are placed, drawing the outside in to essentially expand the small footprint of the internal space.
Base Cabin's an architectural builder of tiny houses. We really look to collaborate with Australia's most innovative architects, working on tiny spaces that we can move around Australia. Our design process with architects is really stripping back to what are the essentials. We work with them to form functional spaces that are compact, yet usable and everyday. While the end product is a bespoke architectural project, it's deliberately understated and restrained. A lot of our clients are really looking to get away from the city and escape into nature while still wanting a well-designed, beautiful, tiny space.
We designed the layout of the base cabin on a 2.5 by 4.5 rectangular footprint with basic amenities at one end and the kitchen services at the other. The careful positioning of openings helps to define each space, function and use within the open plan. The large square entry door frames the view from the pull-down dining table during the day and the view from the pull-down bed during the night. The living space is defined by a second smaller window with a built-in window seat which frames a view behind the cabin. The kitchen is defined by a third window which frames a view to the side of the cabin from the kitchen sink. The fourth window is a skylight located in the bathroom, framing a view to the sky, tracking the passing of the day and creating a strong sense of connection to the environment. A strong reference was those simple Colorbond shelters that I think is clearly evident in the cabin that we've designed, in that it's a boxy structure, it's an agricultural material, it's robust, so rather than the slapdash quality that some of the livestock shelters have, the base cabin has the architectural qualities of those spaces but a highly refined version. The idea with a lot of my work that not wanting the building itself to become the kind of focal point of the street or the landscape. The buildings are all about kind of becoming secondary to the environment that they're in. Internally, we wanted to use a robust material that would kind of be a perfect pairing to the agricultural external. Internally, we used birch ply to line all surfaces and all joinery, so everything you see and touch is birch ply lime washed. So a singular material was a way of kind of reinforcing the form, rather than having too many materials that became bitsy and overwhelmed the internal space. It was about ensuring that the internal space could kind of accommodate the bumps and knocks that would occur after kind of coming back from an adventure into the bush, the hills, the coastline. But it also needed to be refined enough that you felt like you'd come home.
Working with Matt, this is our smallest tiny house design to date. It's really pushed us to see what's possible in a space that's not much bigger than a standard bedroom, whilst fitting in a bathroom, full kitchen, bed, living area. So it's a really beautiful space, it's light, it's airy, but it's under 10 square metres.
through the design process, our thought was if you're out experiencing the kind of expansive ruggedness of some of these environments, that when you return at the end of the day, you need the creature comforts of home in a space that still has a kind of spatial architectural quality about it, a generosity to the tiny footprint that we've been given to work with, in that it is such a small, tiny footprint, but the spatial qualities feel generous and expansive, and I feel like I'm in the landscape, not cut off from it.
Thanks for watching this episode. Don't forget to check out the website article with photos and the floor plan. You can find a link in the description below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more.